What's going on, everybody? Sammy here, your favorite statue reviewer, and I'm finally back after a several month long dry spell with another statue. Um, it's been way too long, and I'm happy to finally be reviewing another piece for you guys. This is the quarter scale Hobgoblin. Um, this is a private commission, a custom statue, and as such, I can't really go into detail too much about who made it and things like that. Um, but I mean, I do know the guy. We're cool, and it was kind of nice following this from the early stages, and now having it here and supporting his work is always nice. Um, it was shown around last year, early last year, and I was in from the start. And this is a character that there's not a single other quarter scale statue of this guy out there, to my knowledge. I don't think there is. So I think it was long overdue to get this bad boy. This is the Hobgoblin. This is Roderick Kingsley Hobgoblin, because he's had several different identities throughout his career as a villain. Not my favorite interpretation of him. My favorite was Ned Leeds, and I think he should have stayed Ned, honestly. But, I mean, it doesn't really matter because it's all the same character anyway. What was I gonna say? Yeah, this Hobgoblin, as some of you may know, was created in an attempt to revive the Green Goblin in the comics, but they didn't want to actually legitimately bring back Green Goblin. So he was created kind of as a similar character. You know, he started as him stumbling upon some of Green Goblin's old hideouts and gathering his equipment, and then kind of just doing his own thing. But I mean, anyone can see the similarities between the two characters. It's clear that Hobgoblin was heavily inspired by the Green Goblin. And I always liked this character because he just stood out more as a villain to me than a lot of other Spider-Man's villains. I mean, he was like a major threat to Spider-Man. I mean, he constantly, every time Spider-Man would beat him or think he beat him, he'd always come back. And it wasn't until like very late in the Roger Stern era, I think even after that, because he came back for another story, Hobgoblin Lives, that Spider-Man finally once and for all beat him, because he kept coming back with different identities and different plans and different this, and it was always pretty cool just to read through those stories. His first appearance was Spider-Man 238, I'm pretty sure, and I think that was just like a cameo on the very last page. I don't even think that was like the full first time Spider-Man like fought him. But the cover for that's pretty cool, and there's been cover swipes of that a lot in a lot of variant issues and things like that, and I don't blame him. It's a pretty dope cover. Him ripping Spider-Man's costume in half, that's pretty badass. Onto the statue itself. This was limited to 45 pieces worldwide. Pretty low edition size, even for a custom. I think 45 is a pretty sweet number. I'm not sure if that's including the unpainted ones or not. I'd have to check. But this was sculpted out of resin. I don't think it's polystone. Pretty sure it's resin. I'm like 99% sure it's resin. You can go ahead and quote me. It comes with a few different switch outs. Actually, I have them all right here. You get 4 heads. I can't count, and you get 3 arms total. This arm right here, the one holding the pumpkin bomb, that's like the only option for that arm. But you get this little pointy finger right there, and you also get, well, I'll go into switch outs like later, but you also get this arm, him holding his mask. Overall, you know, you see a lot of custom statues sometimes come out pretty bad, honestly. Mostly it's because the paint job was just really subpar and not up to the prototype. And so as a result, I was a little bit nervous to see this guy in hand, but now that he's here and I'm looking at him, I think it came out pretty well. Not perfect. I mean, there's definitely things that I could see could have used improvement, but I think overall it's a solid paint job for the most part, especially on the glider. I mean, that's exceptional. That's my favorite part easily. The paint on the glider makes it look like really rustic, really weathered, and I love how they did it. Start down here at the base. It's like a corner. Is it a corner? I mean, it's a piece of like a building, the top of the building. I'm thinking. It doesn't have that much variation in the paint, but I mean, it doesn't really need to. I mean, it does its job as just being a block of concrete. And I mean, there is a little bit of variation, like in the bricks. It's darker towards the middle of each brick and like lighter on the edges. So it's not like it's just one monotone shade of gray. It's nice. I mean, especially the back here is really what I mean with no variation. Like it's really just all gray. That's fine. It's the inside of the building. It's not going to be detailed. Then the smoke right here like is solid, like attached to the base, and then the glider was a separate piece which plugs into the base right there in front of the smoke. And again, the glider, it's by far my favorite part. I mean, if I could just buy another one of these, just the glider, just to display, they're pretty cool because it's awesome. It's really well done. You have like a little steampunk, I don't know if you can see it here. I'll do some close-ups later, but like the little piping there, I really like how that's done. So yeah, that's the base. It came with these two little bomb attachments. Both of those come off. Pretty cool. Adds to the base, adds a little contrast to the color. Then you move on to Hobgoblin himself. He came in he came in a couple different parts. His legs, like the leg, everything down here was one part, then the torso was another part, then the cape, heads, arms. I love the sculpt is incredible. I mean, I really like everything and how it works. The cape, kind of like the motion adds to I don't know what I'm trying to say. The motion of the cape kind of adds to the pose. You get it, right? I think. I was worried like in the pictures and the renders and things with the cape, the way the cape looked would kind of be weird. But I mean, when you're looking at the statue like as a whole from a distance, it's really, I think it all comes together pretty well. I thought the orange paint was going to be more of like glossy from the pictures that I saw, but it's actually more like not subtle, like toned down, like it's matte. Not matte feel, but it's a matte look to it. And I prefer that. I wouldn't really have liked an all glossy costume. The blue paint on his clothing it looks almost metallic, but it's not. It's not, I don't know. I mean, I keep going back and forth. I like it, but I don't know, something about it looks a little bit off to me. I'm not sure what, and this is probably just me nitpicking, honestly, because it's well done. I mean, and it could have been a lot worse. And I mean, like I said, overall it came out great, like the whole entire thing. But it's not quite a metallic paint, and I think it would have looked better if it was, honestly. He's got little logo on his belt, matches the glider. The bag I think the bag is well done, but I have like a love-hate relationship with it because the bag, this is like, the strap is mixed media, but the bag itself is all sculpted. And the very first time I saw it, I thought it was like mixed media as well, because it's really, the sculpt kind of makes it look like fabric, and I think that's incredible how they could do that. But then on the other side of the coin, the bag, like, it really just feels like an afterthought, because there's really no way that you're supposed to put it on. Like you kind of just, I don't know if you can see, but I basically like put it between the cape and the torso, have it hanging around, and then it's just chilling here by his leg. It's not secured or anything. Not saying it'll fall off, but like it's just loose around here, and if you move the statue around, I mean, it could bump around, it could rub paint off or chip paint off on the body. I wish that like there would have been some kind of, maybe a peg, like kind of on the Green Goblin premium format, like how the bag pegs into his body. Even just a magnet or something here would have worked fine. Just anywhere where it's not just flailing loosely on his body. Obviously, when you're displaying him and he's still, it doesn't matter, but you pick him up, move him around, turn him around. Even this, like just moving around on here, it's wobbling a tiny bit. It's nothing major, but it's just something that I think could have been improved, because I don't even think the bag was on the original render. So, I mean, this is definitely just like a last minute decision to add the bag. And I'm glad they added it. It would have been kind of weird, that one, but just think the execution of where to put it would have been better. The bag itself looks great. Let's talk about the portraits, the switch outs, and things like that, and then we'll go into like final thoughts. You get this arm. I think I said this already, but this arm, that's the only display option for that arm. This one right here, you have him pointing his finger, and you also have him holding his mask. Now this arm right here, put this in real quick. Yeah, it's in there. This arm right here only works if you don't have that head attached. This is like the classic, classic Hobgoblin head, like the classic mask look, and I really, really like it. Out of the 4 heads, 2 of the heads I think are great. One of them I think is okay, and the other one, which it really should be a surprise, the other one I think is just horrible. But this is one of the great ones. I really, really like this classic look, and I think that's my favorite look. The classic head with the, pointy finger. You also get which was, hold on, let's take this off. Magnets are pretty strong on here too, clearly, or maybe I'm just weak. You also get this, like the demon head. Now this is when the Hobgoblin actually becomes the demon. Like he no longer wears a mask, basically. Like he is the goblin. He is like the demon. And so that's what I'm saying, like you can have that head and that hand, because even though he's holding his mask, that's not a mask anymore, that's him. So this could be shown as him, be like becoming one with the Hobgoblin and showing off that like, yo, I don't need this mask anymore. Like, don't at me, bro. Like that kind of stuff. The one thing I don't like about that head is that the tongue came separate, which normally I'd be like, okay with, but it doesn't peg in. You have to actually glue it in. And I think that's like, I don't know why they couldn't just make it a peg, like a hole in a peg or a magnet or something. I mean, I don't know why you have to glue it in, because now, if I ever have to box it up again to move, or if I ever sell it down the road, like I have to take the tongue off and it's just going to have like dry glue. I just think it's a weird choice. I mean, you could have easily just had a peg for it. But it's not, it's whatever. So yeah, this look is great as well. I really, really like it. I kind of like the story it tells. Like I said, he's no longer the Hobgoblin. He's waving the mask, kind of like he's showing it off, like, yo, I don't need this shit anymore. Like, fuck out of here. And yeah, that's the other head that I really like. Then you also get a McFarlane styled head. Just put that on there right now. And this one, I think is like, this is the okay one, in my opinion. It's not terrible. It does look good, like from a distance. Yeah, see, like up close, it's eh. My main issue with it is the teeth. I mean, you look at those teeth, like they really don't look that good. The teeth turn me off, like a lot on this one. And the face itself is fine. It's good. It's a Hobgoblin head. It's just the teeth, man. I really don't like how the teeth turned out. This head, I think, was kind of sold as like an exclusive of sorts. Yeah, I think it was like an exclusive. I'm trying to remember, because I know one of the heads was an exclusive, and I'm pretty sure it was that one. It has to be that one. I don't know what else it could have been. But yeah, McFarlane look. It's not bad. Again, from far away, it does look nice. When you get up close, you can really see the teeth are not that great. And last and certainly least, you get, again, I really like this statue, so don't get me wrong, but I really think this is one of the worst portraits I've ever seen. Ever. This is the unmasked Roderick Kingsley head. And first of all, I mean, it's bad, clearly, but I'm okay with it because I was never going to use it to begin with. Like, you know, when I saw it in the renders and thing, I mean, I knew I was never going to use it because Hobgoblin is a character that always went to great lengths to like hide his identity, to keep his real identity a secret. I mean, he had so many fail safes and backup plans in this that no one ever found out who he was. So why would he ever be flying around unmasked to begin with? I mean, I was never going to use it, so I really don't mind that it came out bad. I just think it's funny. I mean, the eyes, the mouth, like it doesn't do it for me at all, and I think it's easily, without a doubt, the worst part of the statue. I'll put the classic look back on, and we'll talk about some final thoughts. Yeah, classic look with the so overall, I mean, I think this is a solid statue. I really do like it. It looks great on the shelf. It's got presence. Oh wait, one more thing I did want to talk about is I think the like engineering on this is pretty damn impressive. I mean, because like you look at this guy, he should be falling off. Like he shouldn't be on that glider. Like the whole thing is tilted off to the side. I mean, it should just be falling off. Like the weight distribution, the engineering that was pulled off to make this work is pretty damn impressive. Time will tell if it holds up and there are leaning issues. We'll see. But I mean, as of now, it's great and it's stable. You know, like I was afraid of picking it up and bringing it onto the table for the review, but I picked it up and like it wasn't like I didn't really feel it was gonna fall off. I think it's very well done, and it's a great concept by my buddy. Great statue. I think he hit a home run on this one for sure. Like I said, paint could be a lot better in certain areas. Sculpt is great. I mean, concept, everything about it is great, except the paint just holds it back a little bit. But even then, it's not that bad. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. It's been a while, you know, since I did a review. So glad to be back hustling. Teal Couch had to sit this one out. It's out of action temporarily, but it'll be back. Don't worry. I got the Daredevil premium format. He's shipping in like a couple weeks, so that's gonna be exciting. Gonna do a video for that one. I know a good friend of mine that is really excited for that Daredevil, and I'm just filming a video just for him. He's gonna love it. Anyway, that's been the video, boys and girls. Appreciate you as always for checking it out, each and every one of you who click on my videos. Love all y'all. And until next time, I will see you later.